ActiveCampaign lead reporting. So this question came up today on Facebook. It was, someone was wondering, how can I send a weekly leads report to my clients? Couldn't figure out how to do it with ActiveCampaign, neither with Infusionsoft, Zoho, Salesforce, Zapier. And my solution doesn't use any of those other than the email, in this case, for instance, ActiveCampaign, combined with a web script on your web server. So it's a little more complex than most type of integration things you would do with your email. So here's what I suggested. So first off, had to make an assumption. The assumption is that leads are being delivered to the client automatically. So if a lead signs up through a web form, it automatically gets pushed towards the client. This can either be set up in their own ActiveCampaign account, or it could be like in your enterprise ActiveCampaign account and you're running a web form on their behalf. Now the biggie is, as soon as that happens, you also need to use the webhook capability inside ActiveCampaign to send that information over to your web server. Now you're going to have another script on your web server that catches that information and puts it into a database. It's also going to timestamp it so that when once a week another script on your web server is going to run, and it's going to look back the last 7 days, or from Monday through Sunday, and generate a report. And it might be like the total number of subscribers in the last day, the average number of subscribers per day, maybe compared to the previous week, maybe also show month to date versus last month type thing. And then some information gets generated, and then that script will send that information back to the client's record in ActiveCampaign. And you'll have a custom field there where that information gets put into. Now, whenever that custom field gets updated, it's going to trigger an automation that sends a weekly email. I know there's a lot of words right there, but honestly, the concept is simple, and really the stuff on the ActiveCampaign side is very simple. 2 automations. A little more complex on your web server. Somebody needs to know how to catch the information, put it into a database, run a script once a week automatically, and then send it back to ActiveCampaign. But the beauty is, once it's set up, it runs automatically. You could also have rules in there that it doesn't run if there's no new information for the week, that kind of thing. So let's dive right in. Inside your ActiveCampaign account, there's really just 2 automations for a client you're going to want to use. One's, let's just call it lead delivery client, client A. And you'll have a form set up so that you collect all the information you want, and then you notify the client of the new lead. That's easy, right? Contact submits a form, notify a client. Easy peasy. Then what you do is you want to use the webhook capability shown here in the purple color, and you want to send the information to your web server or their web server to a script. In this case, it's called webhook.php, and you probably want to send some identifying information. For instance, email equals, and then whatever the client's email, and then also put that in the database along with the lead information, so that way you can identify who this is for. So that's one automation. It just runs automatically all the time. Anytime somebody submits a specific form that's related to that particular client, it's going to notify them and then also send the information to a script on the server. Now, not going into details on that definitely gets complicated, but the idea is it catches the information, puts it into a database. That's it. Nothing fancy. Also timestamps it so it's clear when this person was added. And then you're going to have another script on your web server that runs once a week, or how often you want it, and it will generate a report for the contacts were added like in the last week, update a custom field in ActiveCampaign. As an example, I'm going to create a custom field, and I would go to, I believe it's Forms, Manage Fields, New Custom Field, and I definitely want to do text area, so it allows for multiple fields. I'm going to call it lead report. Go ahead and add that. And right there it is, and I'll show you what it looks like. No default value. This is the personalization tag. I don't really care to have it visible on all forms, so I don't want that there. This, I'd probably apply it to all lists, especially if I'm maintaining lists for different clients. I'd want to use that. Go ahead and save that. So that's the custom field we're going to use to generate our report or display our report inside an email. And then here would be the automation that would run when the custom field is updated. So this would be triggered when a field changes. So lead report changes ever. So you definitely want it. We don't want to just wait. We want every single time this occurs. And then we're going to do that as the start. So that's kind of the key to get this thing to fire, is to make sure whenever a field change occurs for the lead report field, we get into this automation, and then we're simply sending an email. That's it. Inside that email, you're going to want to have the personalization lead report tag put in there so that it just pushes all the information that was generated by your web script into here. So you can say, hey, weekly lead report for you, and here's the information. And that's what you would end up doing. The concept is simple. The setup on the ActiveCampaign side is relatively straightforward. That's how you do lead reporting automatically in ActiveCampaign.